What's up, everybody? This is Matt, that's Dan, and that's Opie way over there, and this is our Game of Thrones Season 6, Episode 9 live after show. We just finished watching it. Thank you, HBO Now, for finally starting to work, or else we could have been here a little bit earlier. Trying to think about what to talk about in this.
Oh, wow.
Well, I mean, not that there's
kind of a quiet episode.
not that there's not a lot, not that there's not a lot to talk about, but you know, usually we go scene by scene and talk about all the different things, but there's only two really big things that happened. Let's do what we normally do before we get into it. What did you guys think?
I'm going to say the best episode of the season due to the fact that the battle was so amazing.
The battle was amazing.
Yep. So I will go. I like character builds.
Spoiler alert, there were battles in this episode.
Spoiler alert, we're about to tell you everything that happened.
Which wasn't much.
But yes, I think it's probably one of the top episodes of the season for sure.
It's definitely just after. I mean, if you follow or watch our previous shows, it's been always, well, we're moving pieces around. Well, you know, we're developing this. We're building up. We got to get things in place, and then all of a sudden, it just came to a head, and we had some people die and stuff.
Yes, at least one person got killed in this episode. All right, Dan, I don't know how you got this many notes because there's only two major things that happened, but why don't you run us through it?
There's some major stuff that happened during those major things, the two things and stuff.
Actually, get us started. I forgot to turn my light on. Hold on. Go ahead and get us started. I'll be right back.
All right, so here we go. So we have 4 pages of notes as always because I write too much, and here we go. So we start out back at the Siege of Marine. The ships are still bombing the pyramid and the city, and you're seeing explosions going off everywhere. It's going crazy, and Tyrion is talking to Dany up at the top of the pyramid, and Tyrion's kind of like, listen, before you got here, things were really good, okay? It was
I swear.
things are way better. You don't even know. The city's on the rise as explosions are going off. It's like, I'm not even playing seriously. And he's kind of explaining it to her, you know, we had commerce, we had all this stuff going, and this happened right when you got here. He's like, look, the Masters don't want Marine to happen, because if Marine happens, that means there's a free city out here without slaves, and that cannot exist with the Masters being around. And he kind of gets serious with her. And he's like, okay, good. She's like, good job. Well, not good job to her. She's like, okay, good. She's like, what's the plan? Or she's got a plan. And Tyrion's like, what? You already have a plan? You're totally cool with this? She's like, yeah, I'm going to just burn all the ships, kill all the Masters, crucify everybody, and put their cities back in the dirt. It's like, whoa, okay. He's like, listen, let me tell you about your dad. All right.
Okay.
And it was a little kooky, and he was going to burn down King's Landing, do the same thing that you're saying right now. It's like, this is different. He's like, not really when you're talking about laying cities down to dust and turning it back into dirt. He's like, I've got an alternative. So it goes from there, and it jumps over to.
I just like real quick, like when the very beginning, I just like that she was looking at him like, "What did you do?" I left the house to go to the grocery store. I was gone for an hour. What did you do while I was gone?
I thought it was fine. She just stared at. She's just quiet and staring at him. And she's just like, good.
Yeah. Like, okay, fair enough.
Right. So it goes there. Dany and Tyrion, Grey Worm, Missandei, they're all out there. They're talking to the Masters. The Masters, of course, all like, we told you we'd come back.
Yeah, you're going to surrender and stuff.
Now you're going to give us all your stuff, and you ain't getting nothing. With the Masters. High five. Woo! They're high fiving each other. They just won the whole world, which is so funny to me. They know there's a giant dragon flying around, yet they just sit there like... Yeah, they know there was 3. Okay. They're like, we'll kill the dragons down at the bottom down there. We're going to make you walk out of the city, be the poor queen that you are, and blah, blah, blah. And they're just so confident, like they just won. It's like, seriously, it's a little too much overconfidence in what they're thinking. And Danny's kind of like, whoa, you misunderstood what this meeting was for. You guys are surrendering to us. And they just start laughing again, like, you don't understand politics, sweetie. It's okay. It's okay. And, of course, Drogon shows up, and everybody freaks out. And she climbs on the back of him, takes off over the city. The 2 other dragons bust out from under the pyramid. They come flying over, and they go in, and they just melt a ship. Just totally decimate this one ship down. And then you got the Sons of the Harpy that are out killing a bunch of people that are trying to escape the city. And all of a sudden, the huge horde of Dothraki come running around the corner, and they just drop all of them. So I think they said it perfect at the end. She has a Dothraki horde, so she's got her cavalry, she's got her air support with her dragons, and she's got all the mercenaries and everything else around the area. And now she has all her ships. So she's pretty much strapped for battle when she gets to Westeros.
Well, it's like I've been saying since probably season 2 when she started going around freeing all the cities in Essos. You know, all the people in Westeros are you know, in the Game of Thrones, and they're all fighting over the throne. Meanwhile, she's over here amassing half a world, or an army the size of half a world, and she's going to cross the narrow sea, and nobody's going to be able to stop her. I've been saying that for I mean, everybody's been saying it for years. It's like she's gathering the biggest army ever, and she's just going to walk in there and take the throne. Well,
I think so, but you remember, we still have the undead, which we'll get into that a little bit later in the story, but then I wanted to talk about on certain points. But so, yeah, the Master's there, and Tyrion's kind of like, you know what? We made a pact. You guys broke that pact. Most of the time, our queen is pretty forgiving, but right now, no, that's not going to work anymore. It's like, one of you are going to die. So, sorry, you have to make the decision. And, of course, they're pushing the one that's, he wasn't born one of us, blah, blah, blah. He falls to his knees, and Grey Worm takes out the other two pretty cut and dry.
What'd you say, Opie? He got a critical hit?
Critical hit,
yeah. He critted him. So...
go ahead.
Oh, does Daenerys, does she have to ride the dragon?
Yeah.
Does she have to?
I actually think it looked better than it did in the last ones.
I think every time she gets on that damn dragon, it looks ridiculous. And why does she have to fly? Can't she just tell him to go melt that ship over there? I mean, we get it. It's almost like she's just, you know, look at me, I can ride a dragon still. We get it. It's like you've got 12 names and you're a big deal and you can ride a dragon.
Dragons. She needs to be on her dragons for the people to see her flying and destroying. That is what she's supposed to do.
So is it
Targaryens fly dragons?
Is her being on the dragon, is it supposed to be like symbolic of how badass she is?
Well, I don't know, man. If you were standing in a city and a dragon flew over, first you're gonna freak out and piss yourself. But if somebody's riding that dragon, you're not gonna go F with that person. I don't know. I'm gonna just throw that out there.
I'm not gonna F with a person who can control the dragons. Like that would be enough for me. I don't need to see her riding a dragon. She needs to make sure
they know who she is, and then she's gonna put her titles all up on the wall. Take up the whole side of the pyramid.
Okay. Well, okay. Fine, fair enough.
Anyways, the Tyrion comes over to the last rated master, just like, you need to tell everybody what happened here, and give them a pretty good warning because we're coming. They don't want to mess with us. So it jumps from there, and we get over to a group of knights with Ramsay, and they're running up to meet with Jon Snow and Sansa. And Jon's like, you don't need to be here. She's like, no, I want to be here. And Ramsay comes up, it's like, oh, great, you found my wife, thank you. Now, if only you get off your horse, bow to me, tell me I'm the greatest, say I'm the man of the north, everything be good, I'll pardon all of you. I'm a really loving kind of guy. I'm a caring and trustworthy, honest man. Just do that. And John's kind of like, no, we're not going to do that. And we don't even need to have this war. Why don't you and me go mano a mano against each other, and we'll settle it that way. He was like, no, you might beat me there, but I know my army will win. John's like, what are your army going to think of you that you won't even fight for your men, but I will? And Ramsay's like, ooh, you got it. Ticks him off a little bit. So he's like, are you just going to let your brother Rickon die? And that's when Sansa jumps in. She's like, we don't even know if he's alive. And they throw Summer's head of his dire wolf in front of him. And Ramsay goes to say something. And Sansa's just like, tomorrow you're going to die.
Which is again, the character that Sansa has become is awesome.
Yep. She's like, you're going to die tomorrow, and there's nothing you can do about it. So, whatever. And she just rides. It doesn't even wait for an answer. No. Just leaves. So it goes from there, and we get to that night. They're all planning the battle out. They're kind of trying to figure out suggestions and figure out ways. Tormund doesn't know tactics at all.
Nah, he's a brute. You know, he just let's charge in. He's
wildlings never made it past the wall. I mean,
like, we'll be able to come into us from the sides with this. Is like what the pencil. No, they can't get us from the sides. Good. That's good. Like, it's like Tormund, you're cool, man. You're good. We know you fight, but
I just love it because he reminds me so much of Opie's dwarf warrior from World of Warcraft, and I can see, Bosk. I can see him. He just doesn't know strategy either. He's a warrior. He just runs in there and just puts a shield up, and that's all he needs.
So everybody leaves the tent, and Sansa's sitting there with Jon, and she's pretty peeved. She's like, why did you not even talk to me about the council stuff? I have things I can input here. I know Ramsay, you don't know him that well. It's like, and I kind of was on Jon's side here. It's like, woman, you don't even know what I've been through. You're defending this Ramsay like some crazy coot. I get that, but I have been through some stuff. And she's like, well, you don't know Ramsay. I know Ramsay. Like, I get it. He's crazy. He's weird. And she's like, well, you don't get it. You don't know. Blah, blah. Like, fine, whatever. See, what is he like?
I was a little bit more with Sansa on that one because, back and forth because Ramsay is crazy town and he's not honorable either, and you never know. He's unpredictable and you never know what he's going to do, and Jon, I don't know that he's prepared for that. However,
I would have been on her side if she would have explained that she had a whole other army coming, but that's beside the point. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, however, Jon has been up against White Walkers in that massive battle last season, and that was, I don't know that anybody in Westeros has seen anything like that.
No.
So they both have points.
Yeah, they had the fight for the wall. He had the
that
battle out against the White Walkers at Hardhome, whatever it's called.
Hardhome.
And then he's had this battle. He's fought a lot of different stuff. I get it. But what ticks me off is that Sansa is still not. She's like, you gotta wait for more men. We have no more men. And she won't say, I've contacted Littlefinger.
And why won't
she? Get you more men. I don't know. It's her little trick up the sleeve, but it just ticks me off. I'm just like, if you know there's more men coming, where am I going to get them? Because Jon's telling him the same thing. He's like, you keep saying more men. Where are these more men?
It especially, and we'll get to it. Well, I mean, we'll jump ahead. The Knights of the Vale, they came in at the end, and we'll get to that in a minute. But she knew they were coming, and they came just a little bit after the. Why didn't she say, just wait an extra hour? He's like, we don't have any more men. We don't have any more time. And she's like, well, we could wait an hour.
I thought she would tell him in the tent there when he's finally just at his end. He's like, we have talked to every lord. There is nobody that's going to help us. Where are these more men are we going to get? And she still doesn't say a word. She's like, damn it, woman.
She'd be like, look, we'll push it back an hour. We'll go get a good breakfast. We'll sleep in a little bit, and we'll start a little bit later when the Knights of the Vale are here.
So it goes from there, and you see Tormund and Davos. They're outside talking a little bit more about battle plans, and Tormund's asking like, "You loved your king, and I loved my king, Mance, but it looks like our kings were not the ones to follow. We finally found a man that's worthy of following," which is true because they both now trust Jon and follow him without any problems. So it's just a little piece there, and then Davos just goes off walking just to clear his head. Well, he explains why, but we won't get into his pooing issues. Jon goes in and meets with Melisandre.
Melisandre.
Yeah, everybody has an M name. We have Mirren, Melisandre, Melisandre. Marjorie. We have Jon go in. He meets with Melisandre. He asks her for advice, and she's like, "Don't lose."
He's like, "Thanks,
that's really cool of you." And he asks her while he's in there. He's like, "Listen, if I die this time, don't bring me back." She's like, "Well, I have to bring you back if the Lord of Light wants me to bring you back." Like, "No, I'm giving you an order. You're in my camp. Don't bring me back." "Well, I gotta bring you back if the Lord of Light tells me to bring you back."
He's like, "No, don't bring me back. But I gotta bring you back. But I don't want you to bring me back. But I have to bring you back."
Right? She's like, "I don't know why. If he tells me to do this
the extra 10 minutes on this episode was that little argument.
Still going back and forth. No, yes, no, yes. John's like, why? Why do you have to keep bringing back? But she's like, well, I don't know. Maybe you're just a pawn to play in this battle and that's it. Or maybe he asked me to bring you back for something bigger after. I don't know, but I do his bidding. And John's like, what kind of God would do that? And she's just like, the one we have. That's it.
The
like,
one.
The one.
Yeah.
So it goes from there, goes back to Davos. He's walking around. He comes upon the area because they're camping where Stannis was, or near where Stannis was. But he comes across the pit where Marine, or the burn place where Marine was killed, and he kind of has the realization that they burned her at the stake, and that kind of makes him think. Well, you can see the anger and the just sadness in his face, and it's just like, all right, he's gonna have something to say to the Red Witch. For sure, in the coming episodes.
We know that he does because that's in the preview.
Yeah,
for next week.
So he's giving her the evil eye,
the stank eye.
And jumps from there. We get back to Marine, and we have Tyrion talking to somebody in the campaign's around, and it's Theon and Yara.
Yay! I think. Wait, we cheer for them, right? They're good. They're good.
Yeah,
People.
I like those two.
Theon's good now.
Yeah. So. He gets over to them. They're talking to the queen. They're like,
so where did they come from, though? I found that a little jarring because all of a sudden we knew they were selling for Marine, but they were just there. And the last we saw, there was a big ship battle. So I was thinking, well, wait, was it the Greyjoy fleet that was firing on Marine? That doesn't make any sense. I thought that was a little bit weird that they were just all of a sudden there. With no explanation.
I think there's supposed to be a little bit of time pass, but even so, all the ships in the harbor now belong to her. The battle has been over for a day or two, and they show up with their ships. It's not going to be that big of a deal.
Okay.
So I don't think it's like the same day. They're like, hey, you guys done bombing? We're coming in. So they're sitting there talking to Dany, and they're like, our uncle tried to take over our isles. He tried to kill us. He killed our father. He's coming to you, trying to make 1,000 ships, but the only way he'll let you have his ships is if you marry him. And he
wants to give you something.
Right. He will kill you at a moment's notice as long if you need nothing else or he's gotten everything from you. And she's like, all I want is to be the heir of the Iron Isles and be the queen of the Iron Isles. And she's like, and then Tyrion's kind of like, whoa, you're going to start breaking up Westeros if you start doing this stuff. And she's like, no, she's just asking. She's not saying.
Not demanding.
She's not demanding it. And they kind of get back and forth because they're both like, we had terrible dads. We had a bunch of crap happen to us. I can see where you're coming from. And Dany kind of tells her, it's like, as long as you agree with me and proclaim me as the queen of Westeros when we get back, I will allow you to be on your isles, but you also have to follow policy with the country and not cause any more uproar. Or
no raping and pillaging.
No raping, no pillaging.
Raiding.
Yeah, and Yara's like, well, that's what we do. She's like, no more. You don't do that anymore. And she kind of looks over at Tyrion or Theon. Theon's like, yeah. He's like, don't. Just let's take this. And they kind of come to a pact right there, which is really cool. It shows that she's already having some influence already in Westeros.
Yeah, I like that deal. I like that, I like her having the Iron Isles behind her, or that little, faction of the Iron Isles and getting the ships. And, she's going to have somebody there who backs her as queen. And I thought that, what's Theon's sister's name?
Yara.
I thought her request was reasonable. She's like, I don't want the throne. I just want my little slice.
Yeah,
you can take whatever else you want. I like that whole deal.
She even asked her. Yeah, she's like, you can come over there too because I got a couple uncles I'm going to need to bump off too that want to. Try to say there's no way a queen can rule. I did like Yara and Dany's back and forth there. It was really good. But yeah, it was a good scene.
When I like their little bit of bonding because it's like Dany's trying to be the queen and Yara is too. So it's like in this setting, it's more common to have kings and most people. I guess people don't think as much about queens, but they're both trying to do that. So they have that in common. I don't know, little girl power, I guess.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, a lot of the women in Westeros are pretty strong, and yes, Dany. Well, it all comes back to the R plus L equals J. If they ever totally tell that, who actually has claim to the throne? Because if R and L equal J, that means Jon has.
It'll be J.
Yeah. So we'll see. But anyways, so it goes from there. We jump back, And we see John's army all lined up, ready to go. They've got a really bad position. Me, nobody will make comments on that.
Master strategist Opie did not like their.
We didn't like the positioning. They were in bad shape. Then it pans over and you see the Bolton's huge force. 6,000 versus 2,000. This seems a little one-sided. Ramsey comes marching to the front of the line, hops off his horse, and has somebody's pulling with the rope, and it's Rickon. Brings him up. And he pulls out a knife, and John's like, and there's a moment of everybody's wondering, is he going to kill him? It's like, nope, he cuts him loose.
I told you he was going to cut the rope because Ramsey's a good guy.
Yeah. Kind of pats Rickon on the back and said, you know what? Get out there. Get to your brother. Come on. I hate seeing families.
Get out there, kiddo.
Come on. Go for it, little buddy. And Rickon starts walking off. Ramsey's like, you may want to run because I'm going to start shooting arrows.
Run ever.
Right. So Rickon starts going, and we see
a straight line.
It's like every movie where they're getting chased by a car. Just go that way or go that way.
The one thing everybody gets mad about Prometheus is the same thing. She runs straight. If she would have turned to the right or left, she would have survived. But she runs straight, and the ship just falls right.
I haven't seen that movie. Spoiler. Thanks for ruining it.
It's ruined, completely ruined. That's what the whole movie was about.
I mean, it's this wide open field. You would think that Rickon could run almost like a football, like a wide receiver. Just run and look, and if the arrow's coming towards you, just move out of the way.
Here's the thing. He's probably sleep deprived, no food, been locked in a cage for a very long time, scared. So there's a lot of problems there with him making proper decision making, I guess, while running across the field with arrows coming at him.
Don't try to justify this thing.
I'm sorry. My bad. I apologize. Anyway, so John takes off as Rickon's coming, and old Ramsey's sitting there trick shotting it a little bit, like, oh, I'm not going to hit him. Oh, he's still getting away. Oh, man. Eyes closed, guys. Eyes closed.
He's like Michael Jordan, eyes closed, shooting the free throw.
And right when John gets up there to get Rickon, he gets put down by an arrow from Ramsey. And John kind of sits there for a second, and then all of a sudden, John just goes. He's like, screw it, I'm going for him. And during this time, Ramsey's already shot another volley, which now Rickon is covered with 14 arrows.
Right. Because I was thinking at first, I was like, maybe he could survive that. They really wanted to make sure that you knew he's not coming back.
John's taking off. Davos and Tormund see this. They're like, go. We got to go now. And they send the cavalry out. And this is where the battle commences. Bolton sent out their cavalry. And John's sitting there. He's lost his horse on the second volley. He's kind of standing in the field. And pretty much he's sitting there. I'm pretty much thinking that he's just like, I'm dead. But I'm not stopping.
Well, that was a...
Forward. He's just like, it's about to be go time. He didn't know his cavalry was coming from behind.
That was a powerful scene. He's standing there by himself in the middle of the field, standing there, sword drawn.
Yeah.
This whole wall of horses and soldiers barreling down at him. And the shot is from behind. I mean, that was an insane shot. And then all of a sudden, the rest of them, John's forces, just whoosh in there.
Let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of battles in a lot of movies.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably the perfect portrayal of cavalry hitting cavalry at the same time.
Yeah.
You are going to have horses that are just going to smash and flip and throw and just go everywhere. I mean, there's some great battle scenes like in Gladiator, and I went back to Braveheart, and movies like that where there's some huge clashes in the middle of the fields. And this, by far, is one of the bloodiest and one of the just straight up, probably most realistic look of a battle like that of that time. You've got the scene where John's moving through the traffic kind of thing where all this chaos is going on, and a volley comes down and he gets up and he dodges a guy on a horse and he kills the guy on his feet, and another guy's coming in from the side, but a cavalryman runs him over, and just this utter chaos in the middle.
And it's just one thing after another too. This horse runs in, but then that guy gets shot in the face, but then that guy happens, and
he turns one guy around to talk to him, and that guy gets killed. It's like,
do you think that was all green screened except for a couple of props? That he was.
There was a lot of CG.
I think so, but I also think there was a lot of practical because they brought in a lot of extras for that scene, so I'm sure there were some practical effects as well. But yes, a lot of CG and some green screen.
That'll be one of the scenes, one of the sequences. near the end of the season or a little bit afterwards, they always, like you see on YouTube, like the behind the scenes Game of Thrones stuff where they show you like the effects. So they just show you like a pretty flat horizon, but then they show you all the stuff they drop in to make it look. I mean, that'll be one of the sequences I want to see in of that.
Yep. You see Davos still back with the archers. They're about to volley, but they don't want to fire on their own men. But Ramsay's having no problem doing it. He's just dropping his guys and our guys over and over until that the battlefield is so full of dead that they've caused hills in the battlefield and big, just big obstructions. And his horses and men just piled upon each other, just dead, which is probably what would happen in a battle like that. You get through all this, and finally Davos comes in with the archers, like, forget this, we're not volleying, we look like chickens making, let's go. And they come running in to help out Jon. At this point is when Ramsay sends in his infantry, and they come marching in. And if you watch the end, they do this over a Roman legion that gets killed by another one, but it's the same type of battle, where they semicircle Jon's army, shield it all up, and they just slowly march towards the center, and they spear everybody that's through there. They just
like poke the outer row, and then they move in a little closer. But I was thinking, like, eventually the shield guys would have to like collapse, and someone would have to move because it's going to get smaller and smaller.
Well, what you do is, as it gets smaller, like one would not step next, and then the two next one would step in, and that guy would fall back, and then they would have to know at those points when to fall back. But just keeping that shield wall up was protective. But during this time, they're trying to bust through. They've got the giant in there. He's messing people up. Tormund's trying to get through. Jon got knocked down, and he's starting to get trampled and buried under just dead bodies where he can't breathe. And
no, I thought he was getting trampled because everybody's trying to run up over the.
He was, but the dead bodies were falling on him too. He was getting covered and trampled, and you think because they start playing the sad music,
they start playing the death music, the Hodor death music. Right. I thought I was thinking, is Jon Snow gonna die again? And to die like this, I mean, really?
Right. Yeah, but he finally pulls himself out of the fray to get some air and makes it back up, and they're kind of trapped there. And it looks like it's pretty much the end of his army. It's over, and then they hear horns. And in from the side comes old Littlefinger and Sansa with the knights from the area who come in on cavalry and pretty much destroy the rest of Ramsay's army. Dead, gone. And Ramsay's kind of sitting on the hill with his two knights. He's like, it's a good time to go home. Let's just sit back to the house.
He's like, I remember I left the oven on.
Right,
I gotta go.
So Jon sees this. He and Tormund and the giant start heading towards Winterfell. They get there. Ramsay's inside. They're like, he can't siege us. They don't have enough men. They'll never make it. But the giant changes the whole thing because he busts down the front door. He dies in this instant, which sucks because he was the only giant ever.
At least that we saw, but
they just don't have a budget for giants, I guess.
But his giant friends are going to hear that Ramsay's army killed him, so they're all going to come seeking revenge, and they're all going to team up with Jon.
He's the leader of their clan.
Yeah, so Jon Snow's going to have a bunch of giant friends next season.
There you go.
You heard it here first.
Jon and the Giants.
Guaranteed.
So he busts in and gets him through. He gets killed, of course, with multiple arrows. Ramsay's the one that drops him with an arrow through the eye. Everybody else is dead in the keep that belongs to the Flame Men except for Ramsay. And he's like, you know what? I think we'll do this mono-a-mono thing. I like that idea. And Jon just grabs a shield. Ramsay shoots, he stops it. Ramsay shoots, he stops it. Ramsay shoots, he stops it. And then he beats the crap out of Ramsay. You think he's going to kill him, but he stops. He chills. And it kind of stops there. And they kind of lock him up. And then everybody's like, why are they letting Ramsay live? This is kind of stupid.
So real quick, a couple of things. So when Ramsay said that he wanted to do mono-a-mono, and I thought he was just going to get a face full of arrows from all the guys standing around him.
Fun too.
And but then I was glad he didn't, because then Captain America Jon Snow with the shield.
I get it.
That's what I was thinking, because he.
Yeah, good one, Matt.
Because he uses a shield and then he hit him with it.
Yeah. Anyway,
it
was a shield.
It's a shield.
What he had was a shield. So the battle's all over, and a scene there where like Davos is everybody comes into the keep. Davos kind of gives the look of death to the Red Witch kind of thing, like I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you while he's holding the toy from Marine. And the final scene is Ramsay's kind of tied to a chair in a room. And Sansa walks up and is talking to him about it and everything. And what you come to find out is that he's in the room with his own hounds after he bragged early about how his hounds haven't been fed for 7 days. And he's kind of a little jumpy there, but then he's just like, my hounds will turn on me. And she's like,
loyal beasts.
You haven't fed them for 7 days. They're just hungry. And we see one of the hounds get up and start licking Ramsay's face.
It was the sweetest thing. It was like his little doggy licking his face. Like when I come home, my dogs are excited and they lick me in the nose or whatever. It was so cute.
And then he takes a chunk out of his jaw.
Yeah.
And then they just
but we're that happened. But
and the hounds maul Ramsay to death. Which is good because Ramsay's had so many people mauled by his dogs. I thought it was a
poetic justice.
Yep. And Sansa starts walking away as the snow is falling and a little smile on her face. Happy to be home and happy that Ramsay's dead.
Yeah, so one of the things that I thought was really cool is right after Jon defeats Ramsay, the banners of the Flaymen, the banners
yes.
they drop from, and then the Stark banner is
they also
they
bring Rickon back in, and he's like, I'm going to bury him down with my father and everything
down in the crypt,
down in the crypt where the family lives, or has been buried for years. There was that part too. But yeah, the banner dropping was really cool. But I think that was the best ending for Ramsay that you could do. Jon beating him to death. I was like, if they let him just beat him to death, I don't like that. That's not good enough for Ramsay. Ramsay's got to die a different way.
But see, I thought that would have been okay, because I thought what wouldn't have been satisfying is if Ramsay had just been stabbed or had his throat cut. But with Jon beating him to death with his hands, I was thinking that would be fitting, because it's not a quick death. I mean, he's getting just beaten until his face caved in or something.
I like that, and I also like the idea of all those guys just shooting arrows into him at one time. Just he sits there.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
But that's
all
too quick
at the same time.
Yeah. But no, the fitting end of the hounds eating his face off was awesome. So my thing was about talking about the White Walkers and stuff earlier. There are so many people dying in Westeros right now. All I can think of is that they are not even prepared for what is beyond the wall. Not a single one of them. They just there's dead bodies everywhere.
Or Dany. They're not prepared for Dany either.
Yeah,
right. I mean, exactly. I mean, it's going to be it's pretty much going to be Dany's army versus the White Walkers, and everybody else is just like, we're going to stay back here because we don't have anybody to,
I mean, you have the Tyrells and the Tyrells. They were you have the Martells, but the Tyrells are with Highgarden, right? Marjorie,
yes,
and Loras, yes,
yeah.
So they have adequate troops. The Lannisters still have adequate troops. The Freys have adequate troops to a certain extent. So there are large armies still in Westeros.
Well, you have the Knights of the Vale.
Still, you've got Martells and Dorne who are there too. Yeah, the Knights.
But it's going to take them all.
Yes, exactly.
They're going to all have to come together.
What's going to end up, I see it happening, is like maybe the Lannisters and the Tyrells are fighting down here against Dany, and everybody else from the Frey line on is fighting against the White Walkers coming in that way, or something like that. Or they're just all going to have to join together, and that's it. We did see next week they're going to hit on every storyline right at the end of the season, but we do have the sentencing of Cersei and Loras next week. Who knows? Maybe we'll see Dany actually step onto a boat so they can start heading that way into Westeros.
I think that would be a great. I think that would be a great finish for Dany for the season. Is the Unsullied and the Dothraki and just all her group getting on the boats, walking onto the boats, like with a pan-out shot of the sea in front of them. Yeah. I think that would be a good season end for those guys.
That'd be good.
Gosh, can you imagine once they get across the sea?
Oh, this is going to be awesome. But I wonder if they're going to be held up so long in the South that Jon can't hold the North or something. I don't know. There's going to be something because the White Walkers are coming. And we don't even know how the wall's going to come down or if it's even going to come down. I think it will come down.
Well, you know what's still going to be coming at some point is winter.
Well, winter's there.
Is it?
Yeah. It's already started snowing deeper into the south. Yeah, they've already said winter's there.
Okay, because they've been saying winter's coming for forever, and
Winter said that's why they have the long night. That's why all the wildlings were going for the wall in the first place, because the winter was on its way. It has hit. That's why they're having a lot more snow and things like that. But yeah. So and in Westeros, who knows? Winter can last 12 years. It just depends.
what didn't the last one last 6 years?
Something like
Which
that.
happened
The long
before
night,
we came in.
the last the last big one that everyone talks about, the long night that had the Azor High, I think that was like multiple, like 20, 30, 40 years, something like that. It was a long winter that they made it. But yeah. So anyways, some cool stuff. We'll see everybody. We'll see Jamie in the phrase. We'll see who was I just thinking of? Bran, yes. With Benjen or Cold Hands now, and we'll see what's going on up there. Maybe finish out and stop on a really cool spot with him.
Davos is going to confront Melisandre.
Maybe we'll see Arya get on a boat, start heading to Westeros too. You never know.
I kind of feel like Arya's done for the season.
Maybe.
I feel like there's nothing left to tell for her in this one last episode.
Just maybe show her heading home. That's all I can think of. But we'll see. But
dog. What about the
Hound?
I don't know. That'll be interesting. I don't know where they're gonna. Well, the brothers without banners, are heading north, so the Hound's running with them. At least he was really contemplating it last episode.
Where do they have any allegiances, or are they cool with Jon Snow? Like, they're not gonna want to take over?
Well, they're brothers without banners. They just help the weak, so they don't have any allegiance to anybody. They've left all their banners and stuff behind. They're their own peeps. So they may join Jon. Who knows? Because he's fighting with a bunch of people who don't claim any banners at all. So he's got the whole wildlings and the if he wants the Night's Watch.
Who's gonna be? Can Jon be king of Lord of Winterfell? I mean, because he's a bastard. Sansa can't do it.
If they bring his name back and take the bastard away, they did it with Bolton, Ramsay.
But who's going to do it?
A lord can rename you.
Littlefinger wants Winterfell, so that's going to be.
Well, he's going to try. I think he's going to push to marry Sansa. I think that's the next thing.
Would that give him the rights to Winterfell?
As of right now, yeah, because he's the oldest. She's the oldest one alive, and he is her husband. So yeah, I would think so. I don't know how the monarchies go. It's weird. Who knows? Because nobody knows if Nobody thinks Bran's alive. Nobody knows if he's alive. So,
that's true.
So I guess
all they think is they got Sansa and Jon Snow.
So really, Bran is.
So listen. So Bran is the only full-blooded son left.
Correct.
So he comes back and he removes the bastard from Jon. I guess
no, any lord can remove the bastard from his name. Stannis was going to do that for him in last season.
True.
Like, I'll even make you Lord Commander. I'll give you your names back. You can take over Winterfell. All that jazz. He told him that if you fight for me, and Jon's like, "No, I'm Lord Commander. This is where I am." So any lord or lady, any lord, I'm guessing, knighted or higher, can remove the bastard from the name.
Does he still have? Would he still have the name Snow, or would he be Stark?
No,
he would be a Stark.
Oh, that's right, because Ramsay Bolton was Ramsay.
Well, he'd be actually a Targaryen.
Well.
Be Jon Targaryen because his sister wouldn't.
When we get to that point, yeah. But I mean, we're not there yet.
It'll get there. It'll get there, man. Anyways, that's it.
That's it. Crazy episode. I'm exhausted just watching. I feel like I was in that battle.
I feel like yes, you were.
And I didn't breathe the whole time.
So it was good, and we're pumped about next week.
Oh man.
So there you go, guys. Awesome. Matt, you want to take us out and give them all the places that they can find us at?
So if you want to check us out, you can find us on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, all of those /nerdpunch. You can also check out nerdpunch.com where we post random stuff that we find on the internet sometimes, and you can email us at nerdpunch@gmail.com if you want to tell us everything that we got wrong in this episode or half the names that we forgot or whatever. But that's it, guys. So Nerd Punch all around the internet, and that's where we are. So thanks for watching.
Yep.
And
thanks, guys.
We'll be back next week for the season finale.
Woo!
See you later.
Might be on.
Maybe.